Hello and welcome to Sheila Lives Out Loud. My name is Sheila Moniga. Thank you so much for finding this channel. Please click subscribe and hit notifications so you never miss an upload. And we put up episodes every Monday. Thank you so much for your support over the past couple of months, over the past couple of years since we started this channel. Every now and then I'm going to sit down and share a monologue with you. And today's monologue is being done at the Four Points by Sheraton, an incredibly fantastic place for you to visit. If you're thinking about a staycation, this is the place to be. They've got some amazing meal plans available and work-safe environment as well. But in today's monologue, I just want to take a moment to just let you in on what I've been thinking, what I've been feeling. It's not been an easy couple of months for all of us, not just as Kenyans, but as citizens of the globe. The coronavirus and the COVID pandemic is teaching us all kinds of lessons. There's still much that we don't know about this virus. There's still much we don't understand about this disease, because what we do know so far is it affects different people differently. Sadly, over the past couple of months, families have lost loved ones. There are many who fought this disease and have been left with conditions that they didn't have to begin with. In just battling this and going through this season, I understand that a lot of people have lost not just their lives, not just people that they love, they've also lost jobs. It's just been an incredibly hard season of loss in every shape and format you can think of. And people are hurting. And we all have to stay at home and deal with this hurt. And nothing has ever taught us to process this level and this amount of loss. And so in today's monologue, I just want to remember people who are so lost in this storm. People who just don't know what is the way forward. You know me, I get emotional in 2 seconds, right? I don't intend for this to be a weepy monologue. I just want it to be an honest monologue. We all now know somebody in our lives who's passed on. I want to remember Dr. Ken Oko, an amazing man. He was my teacher in my undergrad studies at the University of Nairobi, and then also when I went back for my master's program. And I was really looking forward to going back for the PhD, probably this year or next year. And he was the kind of person who encouraged all of us as students and as human beings to just get better, to just keep pushing those boundaries. But now he happens to be one of the cases that we know we've lost because of this pandemic. I want to remember everyone else. We may not know them personally, but we know families who are grieving. We know people whose lives are just never going to be the same again. They didn't get an opportunity to sit by the bedside of their loved ones, to comfort them, to console them, and to let them know that they're loved. It's not an easy time, guys. It's just not an easy time at all. And in this season of loss, you've also got to remember people who are dealing with job loss, people who have families in the house, you don't have food, you don't know where that next meal is going to come from. I want to remember people like that, and I want to ask you as a fellow human being to reach out to people, because sometimes we look at each other's social media pages and we believe everything is roses for people, but that's not quite the case. People are dealing with all kinds of loss. I'm thinking of families that have separated because of the stress. Maybe the mother is left, maybe the father is left. The children don't understand what's going on. People whose relationships have come to an end for whatever reason. I want to remember those. And I just want to encourage you, everything that has a beginning definitely will have an end. I think this is probably the worst possible time anyone could decide to end anything. But if it is the case, it is the case. And you've got to believe that even with the loss, there's going to be gain at some point. You're still in the game. You cannot give up. You cannot give up. And so all of us as human beings, let's reach out to each other. Let's help each other. Let's comfort each other. Every day I watch the news and I hear of new hundreds and hundreds of cases, people testing positive. In as much as it's great to be informed and it's wonderful that our government is doing the best it can to test, what do these numbers mean? I think the relevance and the responsibility is on them to tell us what these numbers mean. Telling me 100 people died or 100 people tested positive doesn't quite help me understand my place in this. What of those 100 cases, perhaps those new ones, are there new reinfections? Tell me about that. Of the recoveries, have you seen people come back in again because they're positive? I think we're at this point where we cannot just unleash numbers for numbers' sake. We have to share the kind of information, whether it's numbers, bring it down to people. What does this mean? When you tell us we have 100 cases in Westlands, again, what does that mean? Give me more information. Give me something that relates to me as a person, as someone who maybe works in Westlands, or maybe someone who lives in Westlands. I think it's time to shift gears in how we're addressing this pandemic. I know a lot has been said about PPEs, the scandal following certain donations. I don't want to talk about that now, but then the fact that this is an issue speaks to our moral fiber. Really, have we sunk this low? Is this who we really are during a pandemic? What's the point in having and owning all the gold and all the money in the world and there's nobody else left but you? There's certain things we as a nation now need to pay very close attention to, because whichever way you look at it, we are getting ready for an election. And a lot of what's happening now should inform the choices that we make when the time comes. Like the wonderful television show we all like, Game of Thrones, the North will remember. Kenyans, we must remember, because it's in times of adversity that you know which way your ship is heading and who's going to help you get where you're going. As I close this monologue, I once again want to encourage you to hang in there. None of us saw this pandemic coming. None of us. And we all have to figure it out. And I think the biggest place that we are going to win is what's happening in our heads. It's what's going on between our ears, as my wonderful yoga teacher, Kartik, used to say. At the end of the day, it's that muscle between your ears. If you win there, if you're sound there, you'll be sound anywhere. So focus on your mental health. Check in on yourself. We're not all 100%. We're all going through things. I know I am. This amazing, overwhelming sadness. It's not my nature. Excuse me, but that's where I am now. You know, feeling everybody's moment, feeling everybody's distress. I think for some of us who are usually very happy people, when we are dealing with sadness or we're faced with other people's sadness, it becomes ours. And it gets to the point where it is so overwhelming, you literally feel like you're carrying the world's sadness on your shoulders, even though you're not. But it's because of the empathy that you have, that you're not looking at people and saying, oh, sorry, but you're in there saying, I can't believe this is happening. So be there for each other. Let's help each other get through this time, because we will get through it. We have to get through it. We must get through it. So thanks again for watching this. I didn't mean to make you a little weepy, and if I did, sorry, take a tissue. Trust me not to have tissues. I wasn't planning on crying, but then now there it is. Take care of each other. Check on yourself, especially your mental well-being. And let's catch up again next Monday. And next Monday I can tell you what we'll be up to. We're going to do some yoga. But not with my teacher, but with someone else who's absolutely wonderful, and he's got a story worth listening to. So click subscribe if you haven't already, hit notifications, drop a comment in the comment section below, and if you tell me about how I was crying and my mascara was running, that's the end of our friendship. But thanks for watching, and until our next episode, live out loud in all that you do. Bye!